What nonsense is this? What nonsense is this? Rubbish people. How can I receive such an amount of money?
How much did you get?
£200.
Let me see what you got. Oops. See what I got. I just received £200 from my brother.
Oh, you got a lot more than I do.
Oh yes, with MoneyFix, you can receive money from any part of the world to Cameroon directly into your mobile money account at the cheapest rate.
Wow. Are you looking for the best exchange rate for all your money transfer? Try MoneyFix. Log on to moneyfix.com. MoneyFix. Fast, easy, and cheap service to Cameroon. MoneyFix. Hey, darling.
Hello, honey.
I brought you this.
You got me a new blender.
Oh, yes. Thanks to the more money I've been receiving through MoneyFix.
How come?
I receive more money through MoneyFix because they have the best exchange rates as compared to the last senders I was receiving.
Meaning you've been saving more?
Oh, yes. Use MoneyFix to receive more for less from abroad with their best exchange rates and save more. Always find the best rates to Cameroon with MoneyFix. Receive more money through MoneyFix today. MoneyFix.
Hi guys, are you people getting me? Okay, so welcome to another show. Today's Friday, Hot Topics. Share, call your friends, tell them we are here again. Actually, I can't see the comments, so I don't even know if actually you guys are getting me, but I just keep talking. So today, it's going to be another hot topic. We're actually talking today on in-laws, dealing with in-laws. We all know, right? We know what it means to deal with our in-laws because in Africa, when you get married, Cameroon in particular, we've always been told that you get married to the man and his family, to the woman and her family. So it's such a big deal for us to deal with our in-laws. So today we talking about this topic. It's really hot. It's going to be hot. We want to hear from you. So call your friends, tag your friends, tell them we are here, tell them it's another Friday. Facebook is limiting us, but we know you are not going to limit us. So as we welcome this song and Denzel, we should be ready to have it really hot today. Thanks and looking forward to this discussion. This song, are you ready? So guys, share the video, share with your friends, share on your WhatsApp status. We need your heart. We need everything today. Just show us some love and we need to hear from you too. Hi, Denzel.
Hi, Emma. How are you?
I'm okay, and you?
Well, that took me by surprise. I'm okay, thank you. I wasn't expecting you to come.
Sorry, I can imagine. It's beginning to walk.
Hey, hello. Hello, Denzel. Hello, Emma. Hello, fellow viewers.
Hi. Everyone is coming
Yeah,
by surprise. I mean, we have been
yeah,
waiting for surprise.
it was such a surprise. I was completely absent-minded. Anyway, good to meet you guys for another
Okay.
Friday.
Same here. You're welcome to the show.
It's echoing, Emma.
Man, I'm getting this echo. I don't know what's happening.
Mm,
Yeah, the echoing is really disturbing.
One moment. Let's wait. Is that okay?
I
Still,
think the
there's
problem is the phone.
Okay. What could be the problem? This one, could that be you?
how?
Because I think you came in before it started echoing.
Really? How could that be me?
Okay.
I'm not sure if it's
Just
coming
take a
from
shot.
this phone. Hello?
Still
Yeah.
echoing.
Emma, I think it's coming from your side.
Okay,
I'm not sure.
let me leave and get back inside, yeah?
Mr. Bisson, how are you?
No, I'm good, bro. I'm very, very okay. Guys, please, while we wait for Emma, can you please share, and keep pumping us with some love? That's all I can ask for. Share until it gets to all the in-laws, all your in-laws in. There's a way your in-laws. There, I think in Switzerland and Italy.
Yes, they are here in Switzerland.
Yeah, let's share. Ask the viewers to share this video till it gets to all your in-laws in the most interior parts of Italy and Switzerland.
Yeah.
Mhm.
How is the weather like now in Finland?
Uh, it's a little. Today we had like it's getting better. We had like 5 or 6 degrees today. So
It's no more snowing.
no, not snowing anymore. At least we can see the sun. It's like 8:30 by my watch, and we still have the sun. 8:30 p.m. and we still have the sun. So
Yeah, same here. Okay, so guys, are you still getting the echo?
Yeah, the same problem.
Yeah, then when I was on to still get it.
What am I supposed to do?
Would you want
let's
and come back?
yeah. Should we try to mute so we figure out where the problem is? I'm gonna mute my mic and then you guys can talk. Then let's see if it's coming from you guys.
Okay. Can you hear me? Emma, are you there? Bisson, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. I hear you without any echo. So maybe you mute your mic and then you tell me if the echo is coming from me.
Okay, let me do that.
You can hear me 5 and 5 now, huh? Any echo? Yeah. I think the echo is coming from Emma because right now she's not with us and we can't hear any echo at the moment. But immediately she comes in, then we get the echo. Denzel, please unmute your mic.
Actually, I could get the echo from the background coming from David too.
Ah.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't know how we can rectify that because
Maybe I should leave too since everyone has left and leave. So then I come back again.
Okay, then give it a try.
Denzel, can you speak now?
Yes.
Are you getting any echo?
No, there is no echo.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. Can you send a text to probably to the media house if they can try to check what is the problem? Maybe it's coming from behind the scene.
Okay, so now Bison left and we are not getting echo.
Yeah,
So
it's the same thing when you left. There was no echo in between me when I was talking with Bison.
Okay.
So we could as well assume that it's coming from you. Probably
Okay.
we're wrong. So I don't know. Maybe I don't know. Maybe you should just try and write probably Delhi if she can try to check what is happening from the behind scene. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can get you.
Okay, then probably maybe you should try to talk to your viewers as well so they can be a little bit more patient with us and try to engage in the conversation, not that we just keep them there idle doing nothing and all that.
You're already talking and they're already getting you actually. So
Okay.
yeah.
So,
So guys,
it's
keep
very good.
sharing the show. We need more people. Please build the audience. Let us come in. I mean, I can still, how many watching? Guys, please share this show. Palm us some like, even though we haven't started talking yet. But like we promised, it's going to be hot today. So do something. Do something. Do something in our lives today.
Oh my God.
Denzel, so how was your day?
My day, it's Friday, so I didn't really do much. I didn't go anywhere. I spent the day with my little girl, though she's like she drove me crazy the whole day, but it was a beautiful time with her and all that. Yeah, and the weather is beautiful outside,
Hmm.
so I went out to do some transaction for a couple of hours. Then
Hmm.
I came back. That's all. Yeah,
Did you
not.
talk with your in-laws?
No, no, no. I didn't talk with them today. Yeah, probably I'll see them on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I have an appointment to meet with them on Sunday.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
You know, because when
So,
a topic like this is coming up,
yeah, exactly, exactly. So how are you? How was your day?
no, it was okay. It was good. Just a bit busy, but good. Fine.
Yeah.
At
How is
least
the COVID? How is the COVID situation there? The restaurants and all that, are they still closed or open?
still close, like really close. And shops have been closed again. At least
Yeah.
early March, shops were
Mhm.
open, but it seems like it didn't go well, and so everything was closed up again. So now very few shops are open, and some of the shops you need an appointment even to get there.
Yeah. Okay. Wow. Yeah, to us here, the shops are open, but we have a limited number of people to go in for shopping. And
Mm-hmm.
also, restaurants are open as well, but we do only takeaways. If you have to eat there, then it has to be a restaurant that have a terrace.
Mm-hmm.
Except that, what else? Pharmacies are open 24/7.
Same here.
Yeah. What else? The transport system is also working really well.
Mm-hmm.
What else? Except of flights have been limited, the incoming flights.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay,
And
so Bismarck.
yeah, this one is here.
Yes, I'm back, and it seems like the echo was coming from me.
Okay.
You
Now
see,
we
It's
you
always
see, you
it's
see when I feel like
it's always me.
now we got it. Okay, so welcome guys to the show. hot topics, relationship hot topics. And as we can see, the topic is really bold on the screen, dealing with in-laws. This is really going to be, we are going to climb on some toes today, not intentionally, but kind of so. So, first of all, Bison, I would like to hear from you. What's your take on this topic?
Well, it's in-laws. These are obvious people. We always have them around us the moment you decide to find yourself in a relationship, precisely marriage. And in so many cases, in-laws have helped in strengthening marriages between couples, and in so many other cases, in-laws have shredded, they have torn apart, they have destroyed a lot of relationships. So all in all, I can say they are integral part of every relationship.
Yeah.
They are influencers of every relationship.
Yeah.
Be it a positive way, be it negative. They are also very, very important in our relationship. When I say relationship, please, I mean like marriage,
Yeah.
So talking about in-laws is something we can't ignore if we have to talk about relationships. Now, how can we deal with them? How? Because we will always meet them when we get ourselves involved in marriage. How are we going to deal with them? How are we going to welcome them? How are we going to associate them in our marriage? Is all what I think we should be looking at today.
Okay. Thank you, Bison. That was a great take. So, Denzel, would like to hear from you. What's your take about this topic, dealing with in-laws?
Mm-hmm. Before I even give my overview about the topic, first I would like to apologize to our viewers out there for the late start. We are really sorry about that, and this is also for us, the three of us, including the people working behind scene. I think we should try to be punctual. We should work on our punctuality. We are really bad handling time, and I think it's not fair. We are trying to build a platform. We should try to engage with the people, our viewers out there. When we say we are coming at 6, 15 minutes late is okay, but we are coming an hour 45 minutes late. It's unacceptable. So we should try to work on our timing and all that. Okay, let me add that. I think when we talk about in-laws and all that, like this one said, they are very important part of our relationship or that union that's called marriage and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I'm one of those people that I believe in boundaries. As much as these people are integral part or very important people in that union, I think those who are involved, like the husband and wife or the fiancé and the stuff like that, they have to set some boundaries, how the levels that in-laws are supposed to step in without you spelling out those boundaries to them, make them well known. In-laws will step into unknown territory. So I think boundaries are supposed to be put in place. But again, look at in our African community, especially Cameroon, where most of us are coming from. How do we deal with our in-laws? Some people they live in the same house together. They use the same living room, bathroom, all those things. So I kind of feel like in-laws are very significant part of that relationship, but also we also need to look what are their contributions, what are they contributing for you to have a surviving or a conducive relationship atmosphere. So that's just my overview. Before I talk a lot, I think I should just stop there for now. Then later on we can drop in more tips and all that. Thank you, Emma.
Okay, so thanks, guys. There's this belief, we are having this talk, especially for the African context or Cameroonian context, because there is this belief that when you are married, you're not just married to your spouse, you're married to the entire family. That implies that in as much as you, the spouse or the wife to be, the husband to be, you have to prepare yourself to get into a bigger family. The person also receiving you has to, there's this level of preparation. So this one, I'll come back to you. How would you prefer your fiance to get along with your family?
Yeah, the thing is, we always want I always want my wife, my fiance to have a good relationship with my family. And this is all about how I try to relate them, because it's my responsibility. She is the one I'm bringing in. I'm already acquainted with my family. We have this bond already, and she's the person. She's someone new that I'm bringing in. But then, when I'm bringing her in, I'm not bringing her as someone that I have to force, like both sides, forcing my wife to accept my family or forcing my family to accept my wife. I am bringing my wife to my family that this is a woman I have accepted to marry. I have decided to marry her because I love her, blah, 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 blah. I'm not to tell my family that my wife, these are the positive sides of my wife, these are the negative sides of my wife. The only thing they should know is she's my wife, she's the woman I have accepted. When you go about start telling them the positivities, the good sides about your wife, it's like you're trying to nurture them, you're trying to tame them to love her, which is something that's not supposed to be done. And it's the same thing to my wife. Whoever I introduce to my wife, like my in-law, my parents, my mother, I'm introducing you to the people of my family that I associate with, the people that I respect. So I don't need to tell you that this is my mother, treat her this way or treat her that way. You should automatically know that I am bringing you closer to my family. This is my family. And my mother automatically, there is some way I once said in one show that the best way to teach humans is by examples. The same way you will relate to your wife's parents, you are indirectly telling her that this is how I want you to relate with my own parents.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
These things are not done verbally, it's all by actions. So it's something that when my wife is in good terms with my family, it helps in strengthening my relationship.
Yeah.
But then, as Denzel mentioned earlier, boundaries. There are boundaries. What are these boundaries? Remember, I'm leaving my family. Even the Bible says a man will leave his parents to go find a woman. Now, this woman I am meeting, it's a new family of my own that I'm making. This family is about me and it's about my wife.
Yeah.
Any other person is a stranger. But again, this same Bible is asking us what people always confuse is that the same Bible is asking us that it is wise to seek counsel of some other person if you want to grow wiser. You know, our families, people. This is kind of tricky. The families, when the relationship is good, it's the best place to get advice about your marriage. Get this point, get the clause very, very well, that when the relationship is good, it is the best place to get counsel about your marriage, especially when your parents have that experience in it. But it's not a good place to ask that counsel when the relationship isn't okay. I think I shouldn't go detailing because I'm just beginning. I should also give Denzel a chance as well.
Okay, so thank you. I think you said something that I would have loved for it just to get some clarification. When you talk about our families, I mean, when it's going well, it's the best place to get relationship advice. Do you mean like if our parents have good relationships, then we could also get to them for relationship advice on our marriage? Just that little clarification before we get to Denzel, please.
Yes, of course. But it matters. It really depends on how you are tabling the problem.
Okay.
One thing I know of examples that people have done this by seeking counsel from their parents about their marriage, but it
Mm,
all went wrong. Because how did it go wrong? It went wrong because they did one bad thing that nobody should ever do in their relationship. They
yeah.
went ahead, but they say they went ahead, but mouthing their partners to their
Mm,
parents in the
mm,
course of asking for an advice. That's
mm.
when you will never get the best advice.
Okay.
When you go and you start talking about, you go start telling your parents that my wife, she's a poor cook, she has never cooked something delicious for me. Can you advise me? You're already badmouthing your wife to your parents. Can you advise me on what to do to make her be a good cook? No, that's wrong. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah.
you can't you can do that without impersonating your wife. You can
Okay.
always ask counsel, like, how you can ask your father, how did you make my mom to be a good cook, or how did you make my mom to cook for you every day? This
Mm.
case, yeah, you don't go bad mouthing your wife in the course of asking for an advice. The
Thank you, Bisi.
feeling, yes, that bond between parents, no parent like to hear that their child is going undergoing anything bad in marriage. They always want to intervene, not as a moderator, but as an ally.
Thank you. Okay, so
Yeah.
I mean that sounds really good because in a nutshell, what gets out of our homes out there, it can only be brought out by us, except it has come to a point where we can't keep it again, where people it's so glaring for everyone to see. But then if we can keep our problems to ourselves, and then our families won't have to intrude at a time when they are not supposed to intrude. I mean that's a great input. So guys, I will ask you again and people on you to share, invite your friends, call them on phones, call them on
Share,
WhatsApp,
share, share, share,
yeah,
share.
palm up some hearts. And in fact, I will keep telling you this. I'm just sorry. Let me apologize in advance. So thank you, Bisong, for that great input. Now, I want to take you on another dimension of this topic. When
Mhm.
we talk about when you get married to a family, to a lady, for example, you're married to the whole family. Now, we begin to get this idea when immediately they see like, hey, our daughter has brought in a spouse or a potential husband. You go to visit, the father now tells you to sit down, and they call the whole family from the last born onto the second. They line them up and they start telling you, they want you to go school, they want this, so school fees they don't end for the level, and this meaning it's your responsibility. And then the father starts telling you about his house that the rain actually blew it off, so he doesn't have any house, meaning it's your responsibility. So what do you think about looking at getting married to a lady and her family in terms of this attributes?
Well, Emma, thank you very much for that. I think it's a very important question and it needs clarification so people can get some light into that. Like we always say, whatever we discuss here, whatever we say on this platform, it's based on our knowledge, on our experience, the things that we have seen from different part of the globe, and we are trying to put those things together so people can benefit from what we have learned. Okay, when we talk about when you married someone, you are automatically married to his or her entire family. I am not a disciple to that doctrine. I do not believe in that. This doesn't make me a selfish individual, but I have a total different perspective when it comes to that arena. When I'm married to my wife, I'm married to my wife. I am not married to her family. I owe her family loyalty or responsibility of treating their daughter well, of respecting their family name, of doing things that it's going to build a legacy to my family, which is now a family between myself and their daughter that I got married to. But like I've seen, like I think the whole ideology that I find so messed up about when you marry someone, you marry their family. Look at situations where like I do not know the English term. Let me say I've forgotten the English term. When someone like a man dies back home, there is some kind of a brother or an uncle coming in to inherit the late man, the late husband's wife. And this is
I
not
think
just about, this is not just about inheriting her or taking care after her. They're trying to have intercourse with that woman as well. And this is so I don't know in other part of Cameroon, but within certain tribes, traditions allow these things to take place. And I strongly believe that it's coming from this preaching of when you marry somebody, you marry their entire family. So I kind of feel like when I'm married to you, I am entitled and responsible to you as an individual. When you have your cousin, your sisters, your family members who like they dropped out of school, they had an accident, I can support these people as an in-law to the level that I can support, but it is not my responsibility. I have my own family, which is the one that I am creating with you as my wife. Okay, your extended family, I love them, I respect them, I cherish them, but I do not see them as my luggage. I have to invest my money, let me put it that way, my money into them, my time into them. I can this is not putting me in a selfish spot, but I want us to come out of that cocoon, that place, that zone where people feel like when their sister get married to a wealthy man, they okay, that man automatically married their mess in their family. No, this is your mess, this is your family mess, this is your mess. Fix it. Okay. And there are worse situations where husband or in-laws will really step up their game, do something nice for that family, but this family is it's built of savages, people who do stupid things. Okay, your in-law will send you to school, you don't even study, open you a shop or give you a capital for a business. You will squander that money in no time because you believe that your sister have a rich husband.
Yeah.
Look for some of us that we are married or we live overseas and we and relationships with the Westerners and stuff like that. Just because we are engaged or married to Westerners, there's this ideology of people back home now when you're married to, let me say, a white woman, that they
Yeah.
have money. No, there are thousand and one white people out here do not even live the life that so many black people are living back home. You understand? So that ideology itself of thinking that no, when my brother or my sister gets married to a rich man, they are supposed to help me or solve our family maladies. I do not abide to that. So I kind of feel like the whole setting about getting married to when you're married to someone that you automatically marry their family, I do not abide with that.
Okay.
It's something that I do not agree to it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's just my take.
Emma,
Oh, yeah.
Emma,
Yeah, sure.
can I just step in from like I have a little problem with what Denzel was saying.
Yeah.
The thing is, we are Africans, right? And we can't deny who we are.
Right.
Yes.
Everybody gets into marriage with what I will call a luggage, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Today we are talking about in-laws. But if we are not talking about in-laws, some people get into marriage with sickness, which is their luggage, maybe some genetical issues, maybe diabetes, high blood pressure. You know, these are genetic issues which it happens. It's not their fault. You call it your luggage, and these are things that you will always put it on the table before coming in marriage terms with anyone. Some people come with kids that they had from their previous relationship.
Yeah.
They are going into marriage. It's a luggage that you will always put it on the table when you meet someone talking about marriage. You always put it. Okay, what I'm just trying to say is the luggage is something that even as being single, when you are getting into marriage, you move along with it. You can't keep it aside. In Africa, we have what we call breadwinners. You understand? An entire family give their all. Even our fellow viewers, they can give testimony to this. We've seen families where an entire family, they give their all. They mortgage family properties. They sell family properties. They do everything so that maybe the eldest person succeeds. Why do they do so? They do this because this eldest person will take care of his or her siblings. Now, if we follow from what Denzel is saying, it means it's in such a situation, this person, like it or not, your luggage is your family. Your luggage are your siblings that the entire family has invested on you. You must give them life. If you haven't given them life and you're getting into marriage, you must put them on the table of your marriage discussion with your spouse. Mommy, as you see me so, they say in our family plot, buy me the work. I have 2 brothers. I have to fend for them until they have a life of their own. You must put it on the table, like it or not. This is what I'm talking about, the luggage that you get into marriage. You can't drop it. Be it a man going to marry a girl, you come abroad, you find a girl abroad, you don't know how she got here. You don't know what their family put at stake to bring her here, and you're coming to get married to her. Know that if she's the breadwinner, you are getting married to her and her luggage.
Yeah.
And a smart girl will put it on the table, like it or not. If you are not ready to carry her with her luggage into marriage, Papa, drop that girl. We're Africans. So now, the 1 minute, the point where I would tie with Denzel is that not that you get into marriage with a girl and then she later on discovers your strength. She later on discovers how wealthy you are. And then she goes back home now, start picking luggages. Mamasa get money. Mamasa go hele you. Come, Mamasa, you get there for that workplace. If you pull you for that work, you start picking luggages now because you find yourself in a comfortable home. That's where we say no. But yes to original luggage that you had before marriage. Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, Bishop. I think in the course of
I have something to say.
Mom and Denzel, I want to leave you so that because I have a question for you too. So you're going to put everything together. Let me just kind of put this. I don't know if with time we are going to understand if Bison is talking about this yes to luggage in the beginning, meaning the father's house that the also grew up is also part of the luggage in the beginning. Because if we come and my father's house is no longer existing because of the rain, natural disaster, I have to put it on the table. But we are coming to that. Okay, so then you talked about the issue of whites. I'm always very skeptical when we try to use this other side of the world to compare with us, because it's really quite different. From the time they are being birthed, they are taught differently. They have a different mindset about themselves and about relating with people. So there's this kind of difference. So it's a bit shaking for me when we have to compare that. But a question I have for you is this. When you talk about you getting married to your wife and it's your wife, like my wife is my wife and it ends there. You know how
Yes.
much when we come back, when we leave our families, there is this bond that we already have with our siblings. There is
Yes.
this bond that we have with our parents. And then when
Yes.
we get into marriage, it doesn't really mean that, I'm going to be like, hey guys, I'm married. So, this bond, we have to limit it. This bond, sometimes it grows stronger because apart from your husband at that time, you talk more to your family.
Mhm.
Now, don't you think if you want to bring in this ideology of I'm married to my wife and my wife alone, it can rather backfire on you because at that point you want to segregate. It's not intentional, but since that's the way you look at things, it kind of turned out that way. You segregate your wife from her family, and then she starts getting this backlash from her family because usually that's what happens. They're always like, your husband is a very stingy person. We don't want to visit you. But by the way, since you got married, you don't discuss with us, you don't take care of us. And then there is this tension with her family. And, we always have some marital issues that sometimes I need to run to my sister and not to your own sister as my husband. This kind of
Mhm.
tension, what do you think about it? How do you handle that so that you don't bring this tension? Why you also respond to what Bison said?
I think firstly I will try to touch on what Bison said. Just to make it really clear out there, I wasn't implying that you have to cut off your responsibility as an elder, like the first one from the family.
Yeah.
And another thing is, it always baffles me when I hear people define an African based on those rules that people will make back home. I think an African man is not that primitive man. It's not that man that it's only identified from their pigmentation, right? An African man is a man who has also evolved in his way of thinking. You understand what I'm saying? The point I'm trying to make is when you get married to somebody, right? You love your husband. There are unnecessary expenditures. These people that I used to describe, I used to call them as leeches.
Mm-hmm.
These people whom they are not investing anything in your family, or let me say in your marriage, but to
Mm-hmm.
suck out from you without contributing anything. I strongly believe it's time for us as Africans, right, to also try to check some of our customs and traditions. How, like, is it affecting or is it built? How is it affecting us?
Yeah.
I'll use this as an example. My light here, it's on, right? I'm
Yeah.
going to pay for this energy. The car that I'm driving, I have to pay for the fuel. The gas that I'm using to cook, I have to pay for that as well. So
Yeah.
I think that when you have a family of people, these people also have to be people whom they are contributing something in your life. That is why I said I didn't want to be egocentric. It's not from a selfish point of view. The
Yeah.
people whom you call your family, from the term family, the people are supposed to work together. You are supposed to be as one, right?
Mm-hmm.
But if the luggage that you are bringing in, let's say you are draining my energy, you are using my energy without bringing something in, how are you contributing in my marriage or in my own life? You are not. It's obvious that you are going to kill me, and if I die, you are going to switch to point A or XYZ to consume from that spot. So what I'm saying is there has to be a boundary, right? There has to be a boundary. I love my kid sisters. I want my wife to love my kid sisters. I love my brothers. When they have a problem, she can assist them. Or when her family have a problem, I can assist them. But I don't want to assist her younger brother who is going to take the money, go to the bar and farote. I don't want to do that. I'm not dumb to do that. So if I have to give you, if I have to pay something for you, then you need to utilize it and use it for something productive.
Okay, Denzel, Don't you think that's a bit? I mean, you're talking about you won't want to take care of even your own brother who is going to go to the bar and farote. So this is a situation of somebody being irresponsible. So it's kind of different. Meaning, if you have this very responsible brother, you don't have brother-in-law, you don't have an issue farotaing this brother, you know. So I think there's a kind of mix up there. You're talking about an irresponsible brother-in-law, and that cannot be generalized.
Yes, that was why I was talking about luggage, because like what Bison said, right? The luggage has to be. He mentioned of things like diabetes and all stuff like that. These are all people. These are all situations that where you cannot avoid this situation. It belongs to your partner. We are talking about things that can be fixed. Okay, we're talking about things that can be fixed. A diabetes patient, you are in love with this person. Okay, you could need its number of years for the treatment. But if someone will have a toxic behavior or a lavish way of spending money, these are people you can kick off the table. It doesn't matter if they are your siblings or not. They are draining you and they are wasting your resource. If you die tomorrow, they are going to move on to another person. So all the point I'm trying to make is we should try to, like, one of the things that I don't like, how can I even put this? Okay, let me use this word of, I think that the way Bison tried to explain it, he tried to make the African family to be like too dependent on one particular person. Let me say the breadwinner. And when these people are too dependent on a breadwinner, I do not see that as like they are not living their own life. They're not living their own life. You should be able to work your own money, live your own life, still come back to your elder brother or your elder sister. You put to have like that life where everyone is bringing in something. You don't need to depend on me. You don't need to.
Denzel, let me just I'll take you a little bit out of the box. Emma, please permit me do this. I know
Sure.
you're really trying. You're really trying to compare, okay, the Western world to an African man, because I'm giving this thing about that we are Africans. We have to accept who we are, and some of our families are dependent upon us. It is what it is. You understand? It is what it is. We will not deny the fact.
Are you saying?
Let me tell you. Excuse me. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something you don't know. Yeah, and I will explain to you detailedly why I say so. It may sound strange, but when I explain, I will tell you that the Western world, Westerners are more dependent, not independent. They are more dependent than Africans. But the problem is, who are Africans depending on? Us Africans, we are depending on our relatives. But Westerners, who are they depending on? They are depending on the social system.
True.
They have a well-structured social system.
Thank you. Yeah.
Look at them. How many of them, you live in Europe, you know how many people in Switzerland, they are dependent upon the government that gives them money for unemployment. You understand?
Right.
There are people, lots of them, they don't do anything. The government gives them money for monthly allowance. They don't work. You see, the older generation, many of them, about 80% of them, can't afford homes of their own. The social system has given them homes that they call old people's home. Don't think they are not dependent. It's just that they are dependent on something else, a system that they have structured. But now, our own society, we don't have that social system to take care of the needy. So now we have decided to take that burden of our family, especially those family members that stood for us, like our fathers, our mothers, our brothers, and our sisters. No, they laugh. Now, to thing. Deep lower she don't hear today. Huh?
Can I say?
Let me tell you, for people who know me, huh? My mommy say okrika, he say water, he say firewood, he say kind thing. So it is my responsibility.
Thank you.
The woman I marry, go know, say my mother is my responsibility,
Bishop,
like
no
it
one
or
is,
not.
Bishop,
You
no one is
understand?
saying that your mom is
Because
not your responsibility. No
we
one is
don't have old people's home in Cameroon. Where my
Bishop,
mommy don't old
Bishop,
tomorrow. We'll go keep it
Bishop,
there. It's my
Bishop,
responsibility.
Bishop, you're not getting the point. No one says that your mom is not your responsibility. Except, have I said your mom should not be your responsibility? I don't think I have said that. My issue is,
No, because
listen, Bishop, you made an example that the Westerners are more dependent. I will tell you that you're lying. Look at it. Look, listen, listen. When I say you are lying, this is the fact. How would you compare an economy where they have more than 80% employment rate? They have more than 80% employment rate with a country where Cameroon has less than 20% rate of employment. How would you say these people depend on the government when more than 80% of them are employed? How can you justify that? Some of these things sound so good. Some of these things sound so good for us to say them, right? But they are not facts. How would
they
you
are not
justify
fact that these people are not dependent?
Bishop, 90% of the Switzerland has 96% rate of employment. How can you say people depends to the government?
Just to, I'm not so good at this fact you're trying to say. But when you talk about employment in Switzerland, for example, I hope you're not leaving out the foreigners. And then I just to wonder how many people you see on the streets in Switzerland, people who are not doing anything, yet they have steady monthly allowance coming from the social system. Kind of. Do you want to think about this?
In every rule, there are exceptions. But in every rule,
I think we might be completely deviating from the topic. Maybe next time we're going to talk about this whole stuff.
Yeah, but I think this is what I have to say last, just to add to this, right? In every rule, there are exceptions, right? But we should stop making assumptions from a minority to a majority. We should focus on the majority to the minority. It's the same thing. So many people are doing this, and it's totally wrong. You go date one boy break your heart. You judge that one boy, so if you date, man picking again. So all men are wrong. We cannot make assumptions from a minority to the majority. It's totally wrong if we do that.
Thank you, Denzel. Thank you.
Yeah.
I mean, I get your point. I really get your point. And just before we continue,
September is around the corner, and there is no better time to embark on your journey for studies in the UK than now. Are you looking for an opportunity to study in the UK? Do you want to graduate as a critical thinker and to gain the skills employers are looking for? Do you want to study a course in the shortage occupation list of the UK? Would you like to gain work experience by taking advantage of a 2 years post-study work visa? Would you like to study a science, technology, engineering, and mathematics degree to enable easy access to a permanent residence after graduation? FK Global Education Ventures got you covered. FK Global Educational Ventures will primarily evaluate, access, and advise you on the necessary requirements of admission, assist you in choosing from over 300 courses, assist you gain admission into any university of your choice, helps you with your visa applications, assist you with accommodation, airport pickups, and settling in the UK. For more information, do contact us on the details you see on your screens. Thank you and God bless.
Hi guys.
Yeah.
So welcome back to the show, Relationship Topics. Today, as you can see on your screens, we are talking about in-laws. And so it was really refreshing to have that break. I hope we all follow the advice. So share, call your friends, tell them. I keep seeing the views are kind of fluctuating. I don't know what's happening. What's happening to our viewers? Come likes, please. Call your friends. We are doing something great. I know you're enjoying the show, so call your friends. Okay, so before we left for the break, we were on the hot seat, and there's something you mentioned. I like I like when we globalization. I like when we kind
Yeah,
of move, when we change, because change is one of the best things that can ever happen.
yeah,
But unfortunately, culture is something that cannot always be sidelined or kind of, I have my reservation with you thinking that sticking to the African culture means being primitive. I had some clinch when you mentioned that, it sounded
hmm,
really kind of, that's the African culture and it doesn't make it primitive. Our African culture of today is not the same like the one last time, but it's just it's the case. It's but natural that our culture must not be the same like that of the rest of the world. When we hear about Asian culture, which is even kind of similar to the African culture, we hear of the Western culture. So why do we think theirs is what we have to succumb to? We have to follow. So we are just dealing with these topics because we have these different kind of cultures, and that's how we have to handle. So that being said, I want to take us gradually into something. There is this almost I don't know if it's a stereotype, it's a kind of general phenomenon that women think that they face difficulties more with their in-laws than the men who always complain. So I kind of get some very funny statements sometimes, girls saying, I want to get married to a man whose mother is already dead. Ugh, strange. Forgetting that you're going to be a mother tomorrow and somebody will be praying that you die before you get married or something like that. So, Bisong, you've been quiet for some time. What do you think about this idea of women facing difficulties more with their in-laws than the men would do?
This is actually very, very true. I wouldn't deny the fact. Women have first. If you see it's which part of the in-laws the women face difficulties with. It's always with their maternal in-laws, their husband's mother. It is I think it is something about the women.
Okay.
They say how do they say this in pidgin? Mixing for woman another woman. Yeah, there's mixing for woman now another woman. And
Okay.
psychologically, it's the one psychologist, the name is it Sigmund Freud. He talked about how relationship between a woman and her son, how it is, why mothers are more attracted to their sons and daughters are more attracted to their father. It's about, they say it's they call it he named it is it penis envy or libido? For the woman it's the libido, and for the girl it's a penis envy, where she starts growing and starts seeing the father as the mother as a rival to the father. And it's the same thing for the guy. A boy grows up and starts seeing the father as a rival to the mom because he's so much attracted to the mother. So mothers too grow and they start looking at their sons like another husband, not sexually, but the bond. They start seeing the son as another husband. And they have this psychological protection around their son, like, this is my husband, and they don't want another woman around them. That's the reaction which happens, but it's not what's happening physically. So now mothers are very, very protective towards their son. The moment they send something, they are very, very protective in the sense that they are trying to be very careful about the kind of woman that is coming into the guy's life. But this is something very, 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 very obvious that people don't know about marriages and in-laws. And I would just want to use this opportunity before I proceed to the main question, that people should know that no in-law takes decision in favor of a marriage. They take decisions in favor of themselves.
Right.
Yes. If you ask a girl why you no like your brother me married that girl, she won't start telling you that because she's not nice to my brother, or because he need to cook fire for my brother, or because he need to take care for my brother, or because he need to respect my brother. She won't give you those reasons. Try it and you see. She'll start telling you that when he see me, the kind of way he look me. You understand? It's all about themselves. That's what in-law, that's what they do. It's all about themselves. When you salute, it is Jake, he knows before he answer. Have you questioned yourself that the man marrying the woman, is he giving the same complaint? Because marriage is all about the man and the woman. You as an in-law, you are just supposed to blend in. And if you can't blend in when the man is okay, then that's your problem. But what happens now, I'll go back now to the question. What happens is that in-laws, they want everything to be first in their favor. They don't even think about the person who is getting into the marriage. And it's exactly what is happening between mothers and their daughter-in-laws. They see a girl, they don't think of how this girl can make their son's life better. They first start thinking, how can they relate with the girl first? How can they relate? How can they use the girl in showing off in their own society? Mothers will say the girl overshot.
Okay.
You understand? They will start by he overshot. Why has she said so? Because maybe people will say, yes, to tell her your son is married to a short girl. You know, it's all about their own selves that they first think of, and then the mother woman conflict, natural conflict between woman and woman. It's so natural. That's what is happening. And so girls want the girls who are getting into marriage, they try to shy away from this, and they prefer that their man shouldn't have a mother at all, and they're gonna find it easy. They won't have anyone who will be rivaling the man with them, which is maybe the man's mother or the man's sister. So they prefer a man that is just maybe with the father and brothers.
Okay, yeah, thank you, Bison. You said, I mean, you
And
took
sorry, lastly, before, and men always have this soft touch, the soft spot for women. You understand? A man can easily listen to his sister or his mother rather than his brother.
Sure.
You understand that? So when a man has a soft spot for his wife, the next person he can have a soft spot to is the sister or the mother. So this soft spot is the wife rivals this soft spot. If I tell you, say me do so, his sister will can't tell say no like her, he go surely the one year sister. But a man's brother cannot rival a man with any, doesn't have any soft spot over the man as compared to the way the man has for his wife. So that's why it's psychological. They have this threat. Girls have this threat for the maternal in-law or feminine in-laws. So.
Yeah, okay, so thank you, Bison. I mean, like, you took me way too far, because I was really planning to come on this mother-son relationship stuff, just to know if that's the cause of all this issue. You kind of really unexpectedly, you took me already to that. But then let's look at still this culture. Benze, I'm coming back to you. This issue of families always thinking that women have to prove themselves before they get married, like Bison rightly mentioned, it's for their own good. They need to check out, such that, you know, there was this fun photo I saw. It's a photo of a lady carrying a bucket, carrying this, cleaning the house, and you know, it was about like 8 different photos together. And then the caption was like, when your mother-in-law sees you should send a photo of yourself. So she has this bucket, she has this stuff. It means It has already been made known, like, okay, if you have to get married, you need to be so hard working. You need to prove yourself. And that is why some women will get the first day they visit their in-laws. Before you know it, in the morning, they are cleaning the mango tree with a rat. In the night, they are doing this one. It seems as if, like, when the family is sleeping, they have to be fanning the mother-in-law to show that what's happening. This is me. This is I'm good for your son. So what do you think about this attitude of in-laws or in-laws to be thinking that women have to prove themselves, show themselves approved, as if you're approving yourself for heaven, kind of.
Yeah. Um, well, I think that it's coming from, or what we have been talking about from the beginning. It's coming from a selfish place. I think I will still try to mention it back, like within our community, Cameroon. You will notice that people do not get married based on your standard. They're getting married based on other people's standard. And in as much as your spouse can do something or can do things that appease your family, she's qualified to be a wife. If she can please your mom by cooking really well, these are your mom's standard. I want people to, I do not have any written information down. I'm just speaking from my infinite wisdom. I have nothing written down.
Right.
These are people who they want you, that is, you're getting as much as you can cook for a bigger house, then you are a wife material. As much as you can go to your girlfriend's house, buy drinks for the brother, sister, mommy, father, uncle, and all that, then you are qualified to be with your daughter. These are all selfish things. They are doing all this for the selfish reasons. Before I really dwell on this, let me try to throw a little bit of light to the question that you asked, Bishop. And what I want to add to that is, when you look at it detailedly, you'll see that what I was arguing in the beginning, when we had that big deviation of topic, these are the reasons. Because of that dependency ratio. If everybody can be independent, some of these things they will cease to exist in marriages.
Okay, Denzel, I'm sorry for cutting you this. I agree with you, but maybe just 30%. Why am I saying so? Because you just want to look at this at the economic level angle of it, and that's not the case. People who get married to very rich, into a very rich family, they face big problems too. And why do they face these problems?
Of course.
They face even more problems. For example, you are a poor girl coming from a poor background. You get married to a guy coming from a very rich background, and then they begin to look at you like a gold digger. And you're even the sole child. I mean, the only child. These in-laws, those sister-in-laws, those brother-in-laws, this mother-in-law, they do not financially depend on their son. I mean, on the contrary, they might even be giving their son. Yet, they still have issues with their son's wife, for example. So, I just thought I should chip this in so that we don't look at this just from the dependency side of it.
I'm speaking from a general view, not just on the financial power and all that. Okay. Now, you talked about why do in-laws see as you have to do certain things to prove the fact that you are a qualified wife.
Yeah.
There was one, I think once I posted something on my Facebook page, and I said our parents had their own dreams that they wanted to accomplish.
Yeah.
They gave birth to us. We also have our own dreams. But I can tell you that I speak on relationship with different people, men, women, people who have been in marriages for 10, 15, 20 years. I can tell you for certain that a bunch of people are married to a bunch of people because their mom or dad approved that spouse. It
Right.
was not their wish. It's like the dreams that your mom did not accomplish. You are now on earth, accomplish her own dream instead of you accomplishing your own dream.
Good. Yeah.
These are situations that they are real, especially within the African community. Where mom and dad, they have so much influence in who you get married, in who you are married to. These things are real. It comes from that, let me just stick to your question, right? It's a selfish thing to think that your son has to get, or your son's wife or fiance have to prove a point to you or to convince you by doing a whole lot of housework before you can validate her as a wife to your son. She's getting married to your son for goodness sake. She'll be living with your son. 9 out of 10 times, you do not have a say on how that woman is supposed to operate. Your son is the one who's supposed to say, Mommy, this is how my wife be. This is how we are living our life.
Okay.
This is how we are living our life. But within our own African concept, 9 out of 10 times, families are the ones that make those decisions, consciously or unconsciously. They are the ones making, and it's from a selfish point of view. I know situations where a girl is just dating a guy, like this lady will buy laptops from Europe, send money from Europe, and when she's doing that, the boyfriend's relatives or siblings and all that, they have already validated her for marriage, that their brother need to get married to that woman because she's kind. She's not supposed to be doing that to you. She's to do that to your brother. Even like, this is not saying, like I think I said this in the beginning, I don't want it to look like you have to be selfish. No. But first, consider the person you have to live your life with, your boyfriend or your husband to be. In as much as that person is pleased with you, the person is okay with you, I think you are okay for that man. And it comes from a place of the weak men that we have today in the society. These mommy boys, they think that because their mom raised them, their mom did this to them, their mom did that to them, it means that she has to take decisions. No, you are a grown-up man now. You need to make decisions for yourself. You are a grown-up man now. My mom took care of me. My dad was not even there. Not like, okay, my dad was not even there. My mom was not even there. But I love these two people. But I am even I think in the Bible they said, when I am a child, I do the things of a child. When I grow up, I put away childish things. I started acting as a man. I need to take my own decision. That doesn't mean I don't love my mom. That doesn't mean I do not love my family. But I am a grown-up man, and being an adult is not just about age. It's about how you can make your own decisions.
Sure.
That's what I just know. Let me add to the question that you asked me.
Okay. Yeah. So thank you, Denzel. I think I mean all what we are really trying to drive to, just this for our audience, is that whatever we do, we should just try to be ourselves. So you don't try to be somebody you're not. For example, if I am an outgoing somebody who gives, I don't think I'm going to limit them when I get to my in-laws so that I don't give them the bad impression. I am just me. So you just try to be you on your first visit. And now that takes us to this, your first visit to your in-laws. There's this attitude of when you get, it's very easy that when a lady visits the in-laws or the in-laws to be, they start observing her. When the mother picks a broom, sometimes the mother might even pick a broom pretending to sweep, not because she wants to sweep, but because she wants to observe if this is a wife material 100 yard. If she's going to come and say, hey, no, mommy, give me my one for you, kind of. Yeah. But they don't do this to men. They don't do this to men. And they kind of make women a little bit tense and things like that. But now this is a question I think Deli asked this to us. Before you get to your in-laws, and we start seeing you cleaning the tree, cleaning the zinc, cleaning areas that are not supposed to be cleaned, just to get yourself approved, how long should a visit to your potential in-laws or your in-laws to be, for how long should it last?
Are you asking me that?
Everyone, I mean, this song, you could take that, Denzel, you could take that.
So do you want to go first?
Because you're just from talking, so I will go first.
Okay, good.
Well, the first thing I will say is nobody is perfect. We all have our flaws, we all have our weaknesses. And except a man and a woman agrees to live with each other's flaws, with each other's excesses, with each other's weaknesses, then a marriage can occur successfully. You understand?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So now, what do I mean is, this in-law visits, it should be the briefest visit. Yes, to me, it should be the briefest visit ever. It should be very brief. Why do I say so? I say so because, but let me take you back. Let me take you back to when we were kids. When we were kids, when we usually go on holidays to uncles and aunties, like that. That first day we go holiday, we just land. It's all good, right?
Yeah.
Even if you broke glass, so
They say apologize for you.
Yeah, sorry about that. Even if you broke glass, they go say apologize, everything. When that night don't pass, the next day, you understand?
Yeah.
That means throw even small water on top chair.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, slap. When you say wait, sometimes we overstay our welcome. It's natural for us humans. During the early days of the visit, everything is good. You understand?
Yeah.
As humans, during this early period, we want to be welcoming. We have this welcoming attitude we put forward. We want to be welcoming. After a few days, we have to live with the reality of each other. That's when our weaknesses starts coming out. We know we pretend for long. Now, husband and wife, they have agreed to live with each other's excesses. But now, with the presence of in-laws, they start making a woman who comes back home 1 hour late, they mystify it to you as if she spent the whole night outside. You understand me?
Yeah.
My wife cooks for me, and maybe the food for that day wasn't that tasty. It's okay. During our courtship, she usually cook tasteless food. I'm very okay with that. But in-laws will mystify it, make it to you that she doesn't even know how to boil water.
Yeah.
You see what in-laws can do. These are her excesses that you had accepted long time ago. So visits for me, it shouldn't be long. As you come, you do a small thing and man go back. So that before my wife starts showing her bad sides, not only me at the Siam. These are the bad things that I had accepted from day one. You understand? Family no know this thing them. Now when they start staying with una, we all this them, they start come out. And the truth is, as we humans, for the man, the family, they will use it to disrespect you. You understand?
Yeah.
I don't see situation where firstborn one talk for family meeting. They tell you say, if you want stand for a talk, go adjust their woman. Where they will ask. How they do know say a woman for us need adjustment? Because say they don't can stay. They stay long. So they see the woman in bad fashion. They use and can disrespect the man. And men being so egoistic with our ego, the man start looking now like say he is married to a demon, of which these are the woman's flaws he had accepted to live with. This shouldn't contradict my first point of saying we should help our in-laws, especially those that we got married to, that are luggages of our spouse. You understand?
Yes.
I
Yes.
always am that person that I admire distant help. Now, why are we married for Bush, over 5 past the one for Cameroon? No be because we would for Western wear, now because what you and your wife over here, the query won't query here, whatever fight you fight here, it ends here. Family, no siam. Because for Cameroon, if you fight with your wife, at least neighbor go pick phone, call your mommy. Say they are picking woman go key a pikino. That's how they narrate the story. They always mystify things in Cameroon. So that's just to tell you that visits, in-laws visit, it should be very brief. Before put a bad fashion one star show, any man don't go back for your ass. Your ass. You wait your palaver. Yes, because the thing that we are we don't accept. The thing that we are we don't accept them.
Yes.
Your family, they'll take it, paint it black, and rub it on your face.
Okay.
You understand? They'll rub it on your face. Say, see the kind of woman we don't marry them. As if you didn't know about these things. You knew about these things, but these are weaknesses that you are accepted to live with. You're okay with them. Yes, but your in-laws, they are not okay with it. Of course, they are not the one supposed to live with your wife. Now you.
Yeah.
So I believe I've answered your question.
Well, sure answer before, because I mean, you before you start getting cases of I cook for my husband and then my mother-in-law is standing, put 5 Maggi, reduce our Maggi. Had a Maggi plenty. So I mean, I've been staying with my husband for as long as we have been living together, and he has been eating my food. And then mother-in-law just come in and he wants to tell me, no, Nasa ever cook for you. Did my Sunday, so you get heart problem. Mommy. Okay, so that we said, then I want.
Hey, darling.
Hello, honey.
I brought you this.
You got me a new blender.
Oh, yes. Thanks to the more money I've been receiving through Moneyfx.
How come?
I receive more money through Moneyfx because they have the best exchange rates as compared to the last senders I was receiving.
Meaning you've been saving more?
Oh, yes. Use Moneyfx to receive more for less from abroad with their best exchange rates and save more. Always find the best rates to Cameroon with Moneyfx. Receive more money through Moneyfx today. Moneyfx, fast, easy, and cheap money transfer service to Cameroon.
Okay, so welcome back, guys. Are you all getting me? Bisong, Denzel.
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, now I can get you. Welcome back. So
Thank
you
you.
guys went and your break was too long, you know. I was almost alone wondering what's happening. So before the break, guys, share the video. Tell your friends we are here.
Share the video, share. Pop hearts.
Tell them we love them even in their absence so they can come on. Share, tell them it's good news going on here. A lot to hear, a lot to learn from us, a lot for us to hear from you and learn from you from the comments and everything. So, Denzel, before I click on any comments, I would love to hear from you. For how long do you think in-laws should come and stay forever and ever?
I think there is
You send them to old people's home.
There is no time limit. There is no time limit for an in-law to stay in your house. But what I would consider to do is before they move into your house, it should be a pre-conversation between you and your wife. don't just jump into people's home like that. We live now in the world of phones, technologies, all these things. Or you see, so even those who live in the village, you can go to the bus station, say, "Mami or my picking there for that part for that side of Kumbao or for Boya or Limbe." Tell you say this, so I'll come next month. So your picking go get that information. Their child can try to see how they can relate back to you. So always try
Right.
to give first-hand information before time, like, "Hey, I'm visiting you, and your wife also, or the husband, it is your responsibility to address this or take this topic to your wife, like mom said, or your in-laws said they'll be coming for a week or for 2 weeks, and what are they coming to do with us? Why would they be staying with us? These things need to be addressed, and if we can address these things before their arrival, then we can know how long we need to stay. Let's say your mom is coming for, you live in Douala, and there is one of the best hospitals are in Douala. And your mom is sick, she has to move to Douala, and she has, let's say, 1 month of hospital leave that she has to be visiting the hospital on and off and stuff like that. She has to stay with you. But if you people are like, you had this conversation with your wife, you prepared before time, okay, she can stay for 1 month. But if she just jump into your home, it causes a lot of chaos and things like that. So I believe there is no time, but there has to be a kind of, let's discuss before you are coming. Let's be prepared before you're coming. My wife might have some flaws that you don't like how this one was trying to analyze and all that. But okay, let my wife be prepared so she can put her bad side in the closet. Those kind of stuff. So before you're coming, let us know. So let's be prepared, even financially, even a place for you to sleep. Even our character, let's try to adjust. There are people who prefer to go around naked. Some couples prefer when you jump from, as you leave your car, you enter the living room, you want to start to kiss your husband or your wife, those kind of things. But when you inform us before time,
Okay.
let's have first-hand information. And there was something Bismarck also said about accepting someone's flaws and things like that. I really want to talk on this a little bit because there is a misuse information, especially on social media now, that you accept me for who I be. You don't have to drop me now, or as I did so, now so you need to accept me and be with me. And that is a whole misconception when it comes to things about relationship. When you have a flaws that can destroy your relationship, right?
Yeah.
Work on that flaws and try to make sure that you people have a healthy relationship. Let's say you're drinking 10 bottles of beer, you're an alcoholic, and you got married because a man accepted you because you're drinking 10 bottles of beer. Does that mean you have to stay in marriage with the 10 bottles of beer, or you have to go to 12 to 15? No. What means people who are healthy, people are consciously aware that you can drop down that dirtiness to have a healthy relationship. So I tell my clients, people who talk to me even people who are not paying, I'm not accepting you as you are with your flaws. Fix them. Fix them. In as much as that thing can destroy our relationship, fix them. I'm saying this because people were just talking about flaws, those kind of stuff. Flaws are not, let's be real, flaws are not good. They spoil relationships. They destroy relationships.
Yeah,
You cannot have a relationship.
I get you. Sorry to cut you short. I get you so well. But no matter how much we try to fix all our flaws, we will still have them. We have these flaws that you hear a man say, "Na so my woman dey, na so my master dey." You understand? These are things that we have accepted our partners that this is who they are,
But
and we have decided to live with.
Healthy? Is it healthy?
It's not healthy. But if we have to break every relationship because of a flaw, then there won't be any relationship at all. What I'm saying, I said those flaws that you have accepted to live with it. You understand me? These are flaws that we have accepted to live with it.
You're not getting the
Denzel, you are with your wife at home. There may be some of her weaknesses that you identify even before you decided to marry her. And you are living, even if you are trying to change it, it may be difficult to change as anything, but you have accepted. It's not, as you say, it's not a deal breaker for you. But for an in-law may look at it as a deal breaker. Now kind of woman this way, he need to cook 2 times for one day. Or now kind of woman do any day we cook in the bun pot. Now kind of woman do it, he go market go stay so. Now kind of woman do it, he can't spend plenty money for market. We have these things, you know.
Can I put it this way? For Denzel? I think it's just a little bit of misunderstanding. And if I get to put it this way, I think Denzel might understand. Denzel, this is just a synonym for we are not perfect. It's just a synonym for 2 imperfect people coming together. And sorry, I mean, like, this is just a synonym for we are not perfect. 2 imperfect. Yeah, so I think that's what Bisong is saying. 2 imperfect people coming together and accepting to work. You get. So I get your point of accept me the way I am. I know what you're talking about, but I think that's in level of very intentional flaws. You know, that's those very intentional flaws.
But don't you think, Emma? Don't you think that when we start talking about, we're talking about relationship, 2 people have to live together, right? And when we say things like accept people with their flaws, it closes the doors for individual working.
That's what I was trying to explain. This is what I'm trying to explain. When you talk about accepting people with their flaws, maybe it's just a little bit exaggerating the way people try to put it. But I think the bottom line is this: we are imperfect. And then you carry your imperfection to meet another imperfect somebody. What I can stand as an imperfection, another person might not be able to stand this. For example, Denzel, well, somebody will not be able to take a man who snores the whole night. Somebody will not take it. That's part of imperfection you get. But for somebody, it's very okay to stand that. You might not be able, Denzel might not be able to stand, or you, Denzel, you might be able to stand your wife who gets up in the morning, moves around the house the whole night before she showers, because she wants to do other things before she showers. But immediately your mother gets in, your mother starts being like, now she kind of woman this way, it will come morning time, in a first go wash. Woman, they normally they wash her morning time. She has her way of seeing this. But then you have no issue. That's not the typical flow we're talking about. We are not talking about you getting married to a drunkard or to a drug addict, and then the drug addict is telling you accept my flaws away. In that case, Denzel, I will tell you, as somebody who wants to get in, before you do that, did you accept a drunkard? Were you getting married to a drunkard? Okay. So, you know, we always say, some way you start them for relationship, right? You go triple. So if I did get married to a drunkard or to a drug addict, then man, no, go fight for inside.
That's so wrong.
Let me just tell you a short story I remember.
To me as a drug addict, that's what I'm saying.
One mama left the village to come visit her son, who was married. Her son is married to one girl. They are living happily. They understand each other. The very first day this mama got into the bathroom to take a shower, she saw this girl. She had dried her string pants on the somewhere in the bathroom, and she saw it. The mommy craze. Say, who's kind of picking this way? Who's kind of woman do a married away in the way rope? That's the news she took back to the village.
Exactly. Yeah.
It was, but of course, this guy enjoys his wife wearing string pants. That mommy the story was completely different. So the girl he wear that dress way. Free woman, exactly. Exactly. I was even talking to a friend today who was talking about wearing anklets. A man is okay, but bring him mother-in-law from village. He can't see him. He go crazy. Yeah. So these are the things I'm talking about. You know?
Yeah.
These are the things I'm talking about.
There's a comment comment here. There's a comment here. I think it's going to help you. Somebody like, let's give very clear example. And I'm going to this. I think this will support the point you are trying to make, right? Okay, you get married to a man who is so authoritative and he doesn't listen to the wife at all. Before you say anything, he shuts you up. And then those are the kind of things that before now, when people are trying to talk about your marital issues, the man starts telling you, and I mean that you have to accept me the way I am. I mean, that's something you can work on, for crying out loud. You can stop being authoritative.
You were not even supposed to get married to him in the first place.
Okay, now you get my point, right? That's my point I'm making. Now, if you are getting married to somebody like that, you should be ready for something like that. It's the same like the drug addict I was talking about, or the drunkard. You see clearly that this man is a drug addict. This man is a drunkard. He cannot deal without drinking, or stuff like that. If you are getting this into this as a woman, then in the beginning you shouldn't even do that if you cannot bear. But if you still choose to get into this marriage, when you complain, very few people will listen to you. Sister, you saw it in the beginning. You saw it. So I think it's the same like what we are saying. But at the bottom line of what Bison was trying to say, and some comments are also kind of trying to project, is the fact that we have flaws and we have flaws. They are in different categories. All in all, we are not perfect. Two imperfect people coming together. But then the thing is this: there's a what can I handle from you? What can I take from you? What can you take from me? What is that my bad side that you can take? What is that your bad side that I can take? We all have this. I mean, we'll not get wings there for a back like angel, It cannot go. There's no way I'm flying. I'm not an angel, for crying out loud. So, but what is this thing you can take from me for being a human? And what is this thing I can take from you for being a human or something like that? So just to make this clear, because I know you really have an issue with this flaw thing, but
of course I do.
Yeah.
The way I see it is, I understand people. I have my own flaws, my own insecurities, and all those stuff like that. But those, like Bison said, it's not supposed to be a deal breaker. The flaws, can they break? And can they break our relationship? If they can, then we need to invest some money, time, and all that to fix those things. But if they cannot, okay, if something that we know, like, it's not of a big deal, like Bison mentioned of probably short pass or chop down bone, that is not even a flaw. That's just a mistake. Well, it cannot happen the next 2 years. These are just some simple things that people make. Those are like mistakes, like I can put it that way. It's not something that is attached to your character. But we just need to observe the flaws, and because we are educating the public, and I kind of believe that since we have a platform that we are educating a mass of people, we need to be concrete with the things that we're telling them. Some of the things we are telling them could be just applicable in a very small landscape or in a small group of people, but does that make it a truth or a fact? And as long as I like to work on things that are fact, though a little minority might be doing the things that are true. So that's the way. That's why I kind of like still really skeptical. But I get your point, and I get the point of Bison as well. So I think we should not really dwell on particular issue forward. Yeah.
Okay, so just taking us to another point, Bison mentioned this issue about the relationship between a mother and her son, and that's something very important. That's something we cannot minimize, because like I said earlier, I was really planning to come to this point because it's an important point. I was personally trying to find out what's this issue about in-laws always being on the side of the man, this issue of mother-in-law coming from the side of the man always. And then I tried to read about this relationship between a mother and a son, and then it's like, okay, it's kind of understandable. Okay, you have this relationship, you have this bond with your son, and some sons are really mommy's son, they are so close to their mothers that is so difficult. And then suddenly you have to get married to another woman, and you have to be a man on your own. You have to leave your mother, who is not so used to not having you around, not controlling the things around your vicinity, and they always want to intrude. Sometimes, kind of, which now brings problems to their homes, the homes of their sons. And so, Bison, how would you advise a man out there to be able, because I won't kind of say, okay, because of this, you get married to your wife, you just forget. I'm not a believer of you just completely forget. You just forget your relationship with your family, the bond you had with your father or the bond you had with your mother. I'm not a believer of something like that. I know it stands. I know it's something difficult to go out there. But then how will you advise a man to be able to balance between the relationship, your wife that you love so much, this new member who comes into your life, into your family, and then your mother who is still kind of holding on to you for this love, still depending on you? How do you advise a man to be able to handle this? Because I think this is really challenging to a lot of men out there.
Yeah. Well, what you said is actually true. It's something very, very challenging to so many men out there. Oh, this is coming all as a result of the fact that, as Denzel, Emma, or one of you mentioned, that these mommy sons that we have out here today. This always comes results from the fact that some men want validation of their wife, like their wife should be evaluated by their family members. Their family members should validate their wives and things like that. When you give this opportunity for your family members to validate your wife, sometimes they start by questioning their family members. How you see that my woman? How you see? What do you think? This, I've seen so many cases that people give this room. People create a forum for your family members to come and deliberate on your wife. How you see that my chap? How you see that my woman? You're already asking for their opinion in your own, for a woman that you have decided to marry, and you start asking the opinion of others. This is where you give room for family members to come and talk trash, to come and validate or evaluate your own woman. And then another thing is, I mentioned this earlier when I said men shouldn't badmouth their wife to their relatives. No matter what is the problem, you shouldn't go meet your relatives or your wife's in-laws and start telling them that my woman, you don't do so, you do not so, you do not so. You are also giving room for them to start saying, pointing out every little mistake they identify in her. And then another very, very glaring factor is the issue of people, of men bringing their wives, how can I say this? The men, they bring their women's their family problems into the table of their parents, even when their parents don't have a good relationship with this woman. When they don't have a good relationship with, they don't stand a chance to be a judge in your marital problems, because from the original point of view, they are not in good terms with your wife, so they don't stand a chance to make a fair judgment. So I think these are some of the points that men who are trying to keep a balance between their relationship between their family members and their wives, to have a balance of it, you know. And don't always, another important factor is, don't make your wife to feel that she has to serve your family, or she has to serve them in order to acquire love and respect from them.
Okay.
Your family should love your woman and respect her for one simple aspect, that she is your wife, not because she can serve them like this, she can do them like this, she can do that for them. No. They should love and respect her just for a single fact that she is your wife. not for the fact that she can take money from your account and send and sponsor your kid brother to school. You understand that? I've actually seen girls doing that, stealing from their husband or taking from their husband rather, and giving to the husband's family, all for the fact that she wants to gain favor from them. The moment you do this, it's already you're already bringing, so you're breaking some kind of problems between the two parties. So yeah, I think Denzel, you can.
Okay, so
Yeah,
thank you. I mean, before I come to Denzel, thanks for putting that together. That was a great point. Now, this is how I also want to look like. Okay, I see with you trying to create this boundary of this good relationship and not trying to make. I also want us to know that some women also take advantage of some things, because you've shown your wife like, hey, I love you, I'm for you. Some women also daughters-in-law, they also bring issues to their husbands' families, just so our audience does start sticking their shoulders, thinking that only the mother-in-laws will bring issues. But we have daughters-in-law outside there who are also very troublesome, and some of them really hold their husbands back from their families. I'm really not an advocate of you trying to take somebody out of his family. But then this is something Bisong mentioned that I would like us to look at it this way. Bisong, when you have a girlfriend or a potential girlfriend, a potential wife, or something like that, sometimes you get to ask friends, right? You get to ask friends like, Jamanga, I know because we women, we do that a lot. A guy is asking you out, you you send the photo of the guy to your friends or to your sister, and then they look at the guy, since all women are psychologists, they look at the guy, they analyze, they look at his eyeglasses, they look at the way he is, and then they tell you, okay, he looks like a good guy. You could give a try. Don't you think it's also the same when you want to get married to a woman? Sometimes you might not know all of those things. Okay, for example, when you trust your mother's judgment, for example, she's been a good wife to your father, you trust her judgment, and then you want to be like, Mom, could you just look at this lady for me? And then what is also very rampant and very frequent is those situations when you want to get married to a lady that you don't know so much, and then maybe your family might know the family of this lady, and you think like, okay, let me ask for their validation. They should think about it. They should look into this lady's family. Is she qualified? So I'm just trying to look at it, the other way. Don't you think it also works when you ask your family to validate your wife? Taking all of this into consideration, Denzel, you might want to handle that, please.
This might sound really strange to a lot of people, but I'm still going to say it the way I like to say it. I think no man or woman is qualified to assess another individual to be your wife or your husband.
Okay.
We do these things, but the fact that we do them does not make it right. Okay? The only person that can do that job for you, it's someone that has been trained. That person can be your relationship counselor, your life and relationship coach. Okay? These are people whom they have the power. They have been trained. The way they will see things, it's completely different from the way a normal human being out there will see them. I am a strong believer that my mom, my dad, my friends, my pastor, my mother, how do they call it? Mother pastor, there is a pastor's wife.
Mommy pastor.
All these, mama pastor, all these people are not qualified to judge, or not to judge, to solve your relationship problem. This is the way I want people to understand. Those who are listening, I want them to take this very careful. There is a kind of love our parents have for us. Firstly, before I even go to that, we live in a very selfish world. No one wants to miss out something that is of great value to them. Okay, your pastor love your how do they call it? Your church, your membership. The fact that you are attending his church, he love that 100%. The fact that your mom gave birth to you, she loves you 100%. The fact that your dad gave birth to you, your sisters, all those people that you have some kind of a relationship with, they have something to do with you, which is love. Now, when you have a problem with your boyfriend, with your husband, why I disqualify these people? Because they have something to protect, which is the love they have for you. And whoever is doing something out of protection can never tell you the 100% truth, because they do not want to lose that thing that they have, that connection between the two of you. I want people to listen carefully. The only man who can do that, that is why I tell people, you need to talk to a relationship counselor, because he or she is a neutral human being. He doesn't have anything to lose. And he has been trained to ask you pertinent questions, because he knows that to every story, there is a two sides of that story. But I will run to my mom, tell my mom that my wife is going out, drinking late and coming back, drinking and coming back late, or drinking every day or night. All that. My mom will judge. The first thing that will spark endorphins. That how do they call it again? I've forgotten the word. Endorphins is kind of something of happiness. But she wants to protect her son. No, my son is in danger. And when you have that adrenaline, that's it. That adrenaline push out, poof. You cannot give out a good advice anymore, because you love your son. You don't want to look. Just think of your friends. How many times do your friends come to you for an advice, and you be 100% blunt with them? You don't want your friend to get angry. You don't want to lose that friendship. These are realities, and I want people to see them. But it's only a life coach, a relationship counselor, a therapy that he's unbiased. He's going to tell you the truth, because he's not losing anything. And he has been trained to tell you nothing but the truth.
Yeah. Okay, Denzel, I think, thanks so much. That's a powerful point. I think you kind of changed my question somehow, where you said something, because in the beginning I was like, what's Denzel talking about? And then I got that you kind of changed my question, because I was asking about validating your partner before marriage. Kind of, because I took it from Bison's point when he said nobody should validate his partner. So I wanted to know, sometimes you need your family's opinion before you get married. And then you made mention of a relationship counselor helping you to choose a partner. And then I was like, what are you talking about? A counselor is not trained to choose a partner for you or to help you. But then you've now brought me to a point that you've made is also very powerful. Getting to counselors, that's something I know now to our audience. I know it's not so common. It's not so common in our society, counselors kind of, it's something that is coming up now. I know we used to have things like welfare, social welfare, and things like that, where you go report a case, for example, and they try to handle that with you. But the issue of counseling now, it's really coming up, and we have many counselors out there, and we are advising people to get to visit counselors, get to talk to them. But on the other hand, I don't want us to minimize something. We are talking to an audience that can listen to us, to people who can get data and then they listen to us, to people who have access to Facebook, to social media, to things like this. We don't leave out the great population of our people out there in our society who do not have this access to all of this. They don't know those things. They don't even have them. We have people in villages. We have people in local areas who do not get access to counselors. They don't even watch us. And now this is it. I just want to know from Bisong, if these people, for example, they have a marital issue, how will you advise it? If a woman has a problem with the husband, if she needs to talk to a family, where should she first of all go to? Her in-laws or her own family? And on the other hand, if a man has a problem, if she's supposed to go to her in-laws for a solution, because most of the time that's what I hear people say, does it also mean if the man has a problem with the wife, he should also go to the in-laws and not to his own family? Because I always don't see this thing balanced. What do you think?
Yeah, normally as an African, what happens is that when partners have issues, when they have a problem with each other, the man takes the problem to his in-laws. I once heard an explanation that they do this because it's a way of showing to their partner. Let's say if it's the man that takes it to his in-laws or a wife, whatever, they want to show it to their partner that they are still interested in the relationship. Rather, because if you take the problem to your own parents, it means you are trying to put your parents against your partner. So it's much more preferable to take the problem to the person or to the people that have a more closer blood relationship with your partner.
Okay.
In that case, yeah, you look at, because your partner's parents have a more closer bond by blood, by everything with your partner rather than your own parents, because your own parents are still learning to live, or to live with your wife, to accept that she's a new family member. So it's better to take it to her own parents who brought her up, who knows her better than anyone else. So I agree to that. It's been usual in an African setting that they always take it to where your partner has a closer bloodline, her parents. Take the problem to them, and if they really go against, like they stand in favor of you, it means they want the marriage to work, and they will do their best to put their daughter in order, and their daughter won't see any bias if they have to stand against her, like, no, you are wrong. She won't see it as a bias. But if you take it to your own parents, and then in the course of judging it, and even if your wife was the one who was wrong, and they try to point it out that, no, you are wrong, before even accepting the fact that she's wrong, she will look at it like, your parents are standing, they're standing in favor of you. They don't actually want to, they want, so that's it. So it's always better to take it to where your partner has a closer bloodline.
Okay, so guys, thank you. We have like 1 minute and some seconds to go. Denzel, I want to hear your last say about this. You have 1 minute to
I think I tie with what Bison said, though it doesn't make it a fact or correct that they should be doing that, because I believe in professionalism. When you have a problem, go to the people who are professional, trained ones who can give you the best of advice. But for the people who live in these remote areas, ignorant is not an excuse.
Ignorant.
Yeah, so you will face the wrong.
It's not ignorant. It's not ignorant.
What I talk about.
Yeah.
Come again.
I mean, sorry for cutting you, but I don't see it as ignorance. I see it as the condition in which they live. We don't expect everyone to live in a setting where there's professionalism as such. I mean, if I go to my village, I want to talk about that.
Okay, I should not even talk on that. I think they should talk to a man of God, but it should not just be any man of God. It should be someone that they trust, someone that can give them the
Mhm.
best of advice. Because when you have a problem,
Yeah.
you're seeking for a solution, not just someone is going to sugarcoat and cuddle you and play with you. No, you need a solution. So you look for
Okay.
a pastor. It doesn't need to be your own pastor. It doesn't need to be your own mom. It doesn't need to be your own father. Look for a
Okay.
decent father. Look for a someone who can give you the best of advice. That's just the
Yeah.
last thing to say. So you will have a solution to your problem.
Okay. So thanks, guys. I mean, I like all your closing statements are really powerful, and I think it has an impact out there to our audience. And just to mention, there were some things I just wanted to put in place and I couldn't. There's this belief I was reading about it, like, mothers are always in charge of taking care of the home, of building people, and of receiving people. And when this really happens, that's exactly why it's always the case that when a wife comes in, it seems to be the mother's responsibility to receive her into the family and shows her what is expected of her, of the family, or how the family is being run, to tell her about the values of the family. And that's why we always have, this issue about mother-in-laws and daughter-in-laws sometimes. Now, the problem comes in when we think we have to do that just to women. In as much as you have to teach women the new rules of a new family, you have to also do that to men, because they're all new members of the family. So it's very important when we balance these things and we don't try to have some prejudice, some stereotypes about it's a woman's place to learn about this. And so if you will have to train your daughter-in-law, I hope you'll be able to train your son-in-law too. It's very important. So thank you, guys. And it was great having you people today, and hoping to see you people next week, same time, same everything, but another hot topic will be coming on. So bye.
Septembre frappe à votre porte et c'est très bientôt le mois des rentrées académiques en Grande-Bretagne. Rien de plus passionnant que d'étudier dans l'une des plus prestigieuses universités au monde en Angleterre. FK Global Educational Ventures vous facilite la tâche et désormais vous offre la possibilité d'aller étudier en Angleterre. FK Global Educational Ventures, c'est un ensemble de conseils pratiques sur le choix de vos filières, la vie en Angleterre, mais surtout la direction à prendre après vos études. Tenez par exemple, pour les étudiants en filière master, sachez-le désormais, vous avez la possibilité d'obtenir 2 ans de visa après vos études afin de permettre votre intégration sociale et surtout de trouver un emploi fiable, convenable à votre diplôme. Mais ce n'est pas tout. Pour les étudiants en cycle STEM, entendu par là, les sciences, les technologies, l'ingénierie et surtout les mathématiques, sachez-le, désormais, il est plus facile pour vous d'obtenir une résidence permanente en Angleterre. Alors, FK Global Educational Ventures, c'est désormais la porte qui vous est offerte pour arriver en Grande-Bretagne, de faire des études meilleures et surtout d'avoir un avenir sûr. Global Educational Venture, c'est un ensemble de conseils pratiques avec des professionnels qui sont là pour vous diriger exactement sur la bonne voie jusqu'à l'obtention de votre visa. Retrouvez-nous dans l'un de nos sites web, retrouvez-nous par notre contact WhatsApp, retrouvez-nous par un contact email que vous regardez au bas de cet écran et je suis sûr que vous aurez une réponse satisfaisante à votre demande. Merci de nous avoir regardés.
Hey, darling.
Hello, honey.
I brought you this.
You got me a new blender.
Oh, yes. Thanks to the more money I've been receiving through MoneyFX.
How come?
I receive more money through MoneyFX because they have the best exchange rates as compared to the last sentence I was receiving.
Meaning you've been saving more.
Oh yes. Use Moneyfex to receive more for less from abroad with their best exchange rates and save more. Always find the best rates to Cameroon with Moneyfex. Receive more money through Moneyfex today. Moneyfex, fast, easy and cheap money transfer service to Cameroon.